Hello, good morning. My name is Thomas. I'm an associate professor in human technology interaction, and I'm particularly interested in how technology shapes human and social behavior. And today I'm here to ask, what if artificial intelligence decided on who you're going to meet, or even who you should collaborate with? The short answer is that it sort of already does. Let's take a quick look at some examples. First, in social media, our networking is already quite much driven by these kind of social or people recommender systems. In professional networking, we are seeing more and more of these kind of business Tinder-like applications that try to help us to find the best matches in professional life. In organizations, we are seeing the ongoing march of these kind of recruitment bots and other digital systems trying to make the decisions of who to add to the organization, for example. Now, do we really want to give the decision-making power on such an intimate topic to algorithms? Algorithms that show very little about us or about what makes a good collaboration. Well, at the same time, these decisions, social matching decisions, are not particularly easy for us humans either. So think about a professional event like this here, and consider when you last picked somebody in the crowd to go to talk to, or to have a joint breakfast with in the morning. So based on what criteria did you actually make that decision? I claim that most of our decisions are very intuitive and opportunistic by nature. So this makes them prone to problematic human biases. One example of such is the preference of interacting with like-minded others or people with very similar backgrounds with you. After all, how could you ever know who is the best professional match based on the appearance of people? What I'm saying is that basically both our own and current AI's decisions are far from optimal. If we think about modern work life, research shows that we need more and more diverse and heterogeneous social networks. We need fresh ideas and new perspectives, and one of the best ways to reach those is by interacting with many different kinds of people. But how do we reach this aim then? Well, one strategy is to make these two kinds of intelligence to work together. Despite the weaknesses I mentioned, we need the computational aid to deal with the numbers, the different options. At the same time, the AI needs our multidimensional ways of thinking and assessment skills. So therefore, we are studying how to make this happen so that we could make the social matching decisions more efficient, effective, meaningful, and ethically sustainable. I believe that the much-cried unlimited human potential can best emerge by bringing the right people together. Thank you.
Yes, hello, my name is Antti Perttula. I come from Tampere, and I'm heading aircraft engineering teaching there. And I'm doing a lot of research work. Exactly most of my time is on research, and I'm researching drones nowadays. So my topic is Eye from the Sky, drones and urban security. And it's relating with AI and with many topics what we already heard today. So this is, by the way, one example what we also doing. We are really developing drones there at Tampere. You can see one of our drones here on stage later. So drones, they are everywhere in our society, and we expect them to be even more in much large numbers there. And nowadays, only drone devices in civil side is sold for €2 billion every year. And in 5 years, it's expected to double about. And in military side, there are maybe 10 times more. So drones, they are nice for us, but also they are causing threats. Here is one example. A drone hit an aircraft in Spain last year and caused serious damages there. So why is that so? So drones are very difficult to detect. They are small ones, they can fly quite fast, and they are impossible to see, for example, with radars. And then, okay, we as a user, do we really know that we have full control over our drone, or is somebody hijacking our drone, for example, and taking control over it. And then, like we heard today about AI, so AI can take control, and we don't even know that we have this kind of AI embedded in our control software. So what can we do then? Okay, like normally good IT practices, especially when we are updating our software, is important. Users need to understand what is normal, what is not normal when we are using them. Regulation gives some borders to these activities. And then, okay, finally we can buy online jammers there. And we have created for Hervanta area, we have created some flying parts. And there is a SURE project ongoing in Tampere to try to manage the urban security. So here is example of flying parts for drones, what we created for Hervanta. And here is a jammer what you can buy for 200 euros so online. And with this device you can really force drones to go down. So really I want to team up with you and then try to find better solutions to manage the risks dealing with drones.
Thank you, Antti.
Hello everyone, my name is Henri Pirkkalainen. I work as assistant professor in Tampere University Technology of Unit and Information Knowledge Management. And in the next 3 minutes I'm going to talk to you about technostress. So currently in my work we often look at the bright sides of technology, so how technology can help organizations do a better job. But we're also facing more and more of the negative consequences of using IT at work. And one of the most significant areas in technostress relates to IT interruptions. So those are more or less just the sounds and notifications coming from your work-related devices that distract your attention from the work that you're doing at the moment. So did you know that your employees might face over 70 IT-related interruptions per workday, and recovering from one can take up to 24 minutes of their time. And in total, they might actually spend 1/3 of their workday around IT interruptions. And this is in the essence of technostress, that is stress caused by IT use. In our work, we have also looked at this phenomena in organizations, and we have identified several serious consequences why companies really should matter about this topic. They include naturally increased strain and even burnout from use of technology. But one of the most significant for companies is definitely reduced productivity. Each individual, deals with technostress in their own ways. It might be just the increasing amount of information coming from your work-related devices. For someone else, it might be complexity or just the unreliable technology that just crashes all the time. But for others, it might be just social overload where more and more online discussions are happening around work. But what can your employees then do to tackle technostress? We have looked at this in multiple directions. We have looked also at combinations of mitigation mechanisms. And one very typical way, naturally, is to adjust the IT itself. The notification, privacy settings, and so on, in combination with your use routines, where and how you use technology. But we have also identified that people do actually adjust their own reactions to stressful IT use. And this means that the combination, for example, of positive reinterpretation of stressful IT use situations with your IT use skills can prevent productivity loss. And considerations for organizations, you definitely can set up a policy for more healthy use of IT, you can train your staff. Getting stressed is always easy, but mitigating is always tough because you have to give up on something that you might cherish. So I'm asking you, what are you doing to tackle technostress in your own organization? And meet me at the stand 3 to talk more about this significant issue for organizations. Thank you for your attention.
Hello everyone, my name is Jenni Hokka and I'm a media researcher. In my latest project, I have talked with people about data as human rights. And it is useful and very important that we have best possible services based on data. However, more often we have talked about right to human life and dignity in the datafied society. So I have discussed with people, young people, old people, people not originally from Finland, about how do they feel and think about the fact that everything they do online is somehow tracked. Just yesterday, I was at Tietotori speaking with people in their 70s who really wanted to know how Google tracks them. This picture is a capture of Lightbeam application. I've shown this picture in the workshops. This application visualizes how many parties have tracked my data on the sites I've been to. And this is a picture that is taken after 2 months use. The most common reaction to this image is bafflement. People do know that our data is tracked, but the amount of that is a surprise to average users. It is true that personal user data is significant only when it's linked with other people's data, vast amounts of that. But I have one thing to say on that. Our data and our privacy is still valuable for us because it's ours. So, how would people solve this situation? How would they want their data to be treated and used? What people need is security and transparency. 90% of the people I talk with would want an easy and reliable service to help them control their data. I call it data control service. And what would people want from that? They want to easily follow which parties are tracking your data on the applications you use. Secondly, they want to be able to prohibit the data use from suspicious parties. And thirdly, and most importantly, they want the service to do it on behalf of them. They want it to evaluate and make decisions on when it is safe to give out one's personal data and when it's not. So, right now there's a strong need and there's an open field. All we need now is the technological solution. Would you be able to offer that? Thank you for listening.